What's up, YouTube? Old Guy 379 coming at you here, otherwise known as Old Guy 379. Um, this video actually, I'm trying to get a drink out here. Sorry. This video is actually in response to a couple commenters, and one of them is just kind of a funny one. The other one is one that I feel, I guess, needs to be addressed. I just cut my fingernails. I can't get a hold of the tab on this dumb can. But one of them is, this guy was like, man, he was watching my video with the, and they're both actually comments on the same video. The man, what an effed up day this is, I quit. Or whatever the title of that one was. One guy said, man, that's a funny looking 379. Yeah, and I told him, I said, well, that's, I call myself Old Guy 379 because Old Guy W900 doesn't have the same ring. And I guess Old Guy W9 would sound okay, but, we already got a YouTube guy and motorcycle dude out there, Ryan F9 with Fort 9. If you guys are motorcycle guys, you know who I'm talking about, and it just would sound like I'm copying him. So, the Old Guy 379, that just comes from the fact that, well, I'm an old guy. It's hard to believe that actually I'll be 56 tomorrow. In fact, today's the 25th of January. Tomorrow's the 26th. And so, I'm definitely getting up there in age now. Man, I'm on that downhill slide to 60. And it's hard to believe that I'm that old. It's hard to believe I've lived this long. The other comment was from a guy at Paul Scott 6998, I think was his username on YouTube. He asked me, or he made the comment, so he basically, did I get into trucking just to drive a fancy truck? And the short answer to that is no. I got into trucking because I've been in this business my entire life, and if you need an explanation of that, go back and watch my rest of the story video, and I'll put a link to that video in the description below so that you don't have to go hunt it down. I'll make it easy for you. No, I didn't get into trucking just to drive a fancy truck. The fancy truck is just a byproduct of me being in the trucking industry. I've been at this since 1991 when I got out of the Marine Corps, as most of you know, and that other video will explain this. I got off the road in 2015 because my wife was having some health issues. Went back on the road in 2019 for a short period, but didn't have any medical benefits, so I went back in the office, ended up managing a truck rental and leasing company for right at 4 years, and did very well. And just the stress, though, was too much. Got to be, a relationship killer, a life killer, and a soul-sucking job. It was rewarding, but the place I was at, really in all reality was kind of a toxic workplace. I left on good terms. There's some great people in that business, and I have no animosity at all. They're all great people. It's just it was just time for me to move on. As to the fancy truck, why not? Really, why not drive a really nice truck? Why be stuck driving a plain Jane vanilla pudding cookie cutter truck if you don't have to? Now, having said that, would I be more profitable in my business if I had a truck that got 7-8 miles to the gallon versus 6 or 5.5? Yes. Absolutely. That's a no-brainer. But I also don't think I would enjoy it quite as much. I like driving this truck. I like driving big trucks, fancy trucks. I like the challenge of getting in and around places with this thing. I complain about it a little bit. Ooh, that guy's got problems. Holy cow. Sorry, there's a guy backing in over here, and the whole bottom side underneath his doors is all caved in, like where I don't know what he backed into, but it's in rough shape. Oofta. His doors won't shut. Stay latched. Of course, the way he's backing up here, I'm not so sure. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But I can't judge too much because there's places I go, believe me, it takes me several tries to get in and I look like a freaking rookie, but it's just because I need all the. It's always kind of a struggle. I laugh about it right now, but at the time I'm usually going, "Oh, you long piece of crap." So I'm getting off on a rabbit trail. Sorry, guys. Yeah, no, Paul. I didn't get into the business just to drive a fancy truck. I love trucks. I love trucking. I love everything about this business except e-logs. We're just going to qualify that right now. I hate e-logs. I think they're the dumbest freaking thing in the world, and they're the bane of the trucking industry. I would love to sit down with other like-minded drivers who've been in this business for better than 20 years, who can remember back prior. Actually, it would be more than 20 years because it was April of 2004. Maybe it was August, but it was definitely 2004 when they implemented the 11 and 14 rule, and that right there in and of itself was a issue. Because in my opinion, again, I've stated this several times, this is my experience and my opinions, is that the 11 and 14 rule is just too inflexible to actually work with. I know they've thrown some different things in with the sleeper burst split and all that, but you know what? It's still not the same as the old 10 and 8 rule. But again, Paul, to answer your question, no, I didn't get in the business just to drive a fancy truck. And no, I'm not going to quit. I put that title was clickbait to get people to get on and watch the video. It's what YouTubers do. It's what the news does. It's what sitcoms do. It's what football teams do. Everybody that's in any type of marketing trying to promote something, they're going to try to come up with a way to get you to either view their show, buy their product, smoke their cigarettes, whatever. I don't smoke, but whatever. Whatever you want to throw out there, drink their whiskey. They're always going to throw something in there that's a little bit controversial that makes you go, "Ooh, what's that all about?" And so that was why the title of that video, and also to tie in with where I talked about bending the bumper on that truck back in 2000. It was just a funny incident, and I acted like a freaking 2-year-old stomping around, and I kind of did the other night when I bent my light bar. I really was just, it made me so mad. I was embarrassed, but things happen. Things do happen, and we all make mistakes. And I just wanted to throw that out there. Like I said in that video, I very easily could have just never said anything about it, threw a new light bar on the truck, not shown any more video of the truck at all until I got all that done. And nobody would be the wiser unless they saw me out here and recognized the truck and myself and saw that the light bar was bent. Now, I did go through this weekend when I was home, and I straightened it out as best I can, and I got mud flaps back on it and everything. And to the casual observer, you would never know. From 50 feet away, you can't hardly tell. Up close, you can see it. And I look at it, and I can see it, and in my mind, it looks 10 times worse than what it does. So, but no, I drive a fancy truck because I can, and I want to. It's by choice. I thought about, when I was looking to get back into this, buying a truck that was, average. And it's not that they can't be fixed up. For the same amount of money, you go look at a new T680 Kenworth versus my W900. They're about $10,000 difference in cost with all the same options. If I went with a 4-axle T680 versus my 4-axle W9, you're talking between $5,000 and $10,000 difference in price. Why not go with what you want to drive rather than, let some other factor dictate what you do? I want to, this will be my last truck, at least as far as I know. I plan on retiring at some point, but the whole idea of buying this truck was to get to drive a few more years, drive a really nice truck again, because most of my trucks have been pretty nice. I've owned one other W900 that was, basically a paint job shy of a show truck. So I like nice things. I like to have nice looking equipment. I like it when I roll into a customer and it speaks volumes about how I will take care of their freight, versus the guy that doesn't take care of his truck. That's not to say that that guy with the ugly truck won't take care of that customer's freight the same way I will, but appearances are huge. And when a customer sees you come into their parking lot and you're driving a truck that's, like I said in that video, missing half its body panels and the lights are all out on the trailer and whatever else, there's oil slung all around inside one of the wheels because it's got a hub seal leak in, and it does not look good for that person, that company. It doesn't look good on the rest of the industry because that's what people see. Now, when they see these nice looking trucks, and mine's not the prettiest truck out there, man. I've seen some way nicer trucks out here than mine. When people see that, that's where that public image comes in, and especially when you drive right and you don't drive like an idiot and you don't tailgate and you don't cut people off, you're courteous. All that stuff speaks well of the industry. And I love seeing nice looking trucks. Like right now there's a Leonards Express truck just went by. I've never seen one of their trucks. Fairly plain, but I like their logo. It's clean, it's unique, it stands out. Almost looks like the writing on a one of our dollar bills or something. And just a nice sharp looking truck. It's white and green. I like it. Looks cool. Central Oregon Trucking. I have one of their trucks sitting over here just not far from me. And I'm going to name some names of some companies. I love that green color, man. I think that's just is cool. That's really cool. They're unique looking. And when those trucks are cleaned up, even though they're like T680s and Cascadias and whatever they have, they're sharp looking trucks. They're nice. I like that. But there's something to be said about going up and down the road in a truck that makes people's heads turn. And it's a good thing for the industry, and I'm glad that I'm blessed, man. I am so blessed to be able to do what I'm doing and drive a truck like this and own a truck like this and still make a living at what I'm doing and still provide well for my family. That's the key. Ultimately, we're all in this to make a living. But for me, that is on par with how much I love what I do. If I hated driving a truck, I would not be out here, man. I don't know how anybody, and I think I've mentioned this in a couple of my other videos actually, how can you do a job that you despise and just keep doing it? I don't get it. Money is good, but it's not everything, man. Your happiness, your family life, your relationships with your friends, going to bed at night and knowing that the next day you get up and you want to go do what you're doing, that to me is way more important than how much money I'm throwing in my checking account and my savings account every month, because you don't get to take any of it with you when you're gone. You get to keep none of it. You die tomorrow, it doesn't matter how much you're worth. That money's gone. And you can say, I got this great idea. I'm going to leave it as a legacy to my kids. Guess what? Most kids, I don't care whose kids they are, they're not going to appreciate the hard work you did to give them that. That's a fact. And it's a biblical concept. They talk about, when you die, someone else is going to come in and take your stuff and live in your house. All your belongings are going to belong to someone else. And I truly believe God gives us everything that we have and to use while we're here. Why not enjoy what he's given us? Why not just live every day to the fullest and be happy with what you have and enjoy it? And that's why I'm in the trucking business, is because I enjoy it. the guy that does the smart trucking videos, man, I've been watching him for several years, and I really like that guy, man. You know, he's old school. You can tell he's in the same age group, maybe a little bit older than me. You know, he comes from a lot of the same background. You can tell, and he he made the comment, man, and I just totally lost my train of thought there. But you know, man, I tell you, man, some days, I tell you, that old guy thing's kicking in. But anyway, I just watched one of his videos the other day, and it really struck home. It was very much what I'm talking about right now. Trucking is a high pressure job, and it is. It can be. It can be very stressful. But the cool thing about it is at the end of the day, for me, even if it's a high pressure, high stress, dealing with traffic, you know, I run reefer LTL freight, so I have tight schedules to keep at multiple customers, and it can be high pressure. But when I look back at the end of the day, I'm like, man, I did all that. I got it all done. I accomplished that. It was an accomplishment. You know, same, and some of that was the same with when I was running the rental and leasing company. You know, when we made profit, man, and we did very well the first 3 years. Last year, 23 kind of sucked because, well, 23 just sucked. And there were some things that happened that I couldn't control in the industry, you know, like companies going broke and people not renting trucks and trucks not flying out the door like they used to, things like that. But, you know, I would look at it at the end of the day and go, man, we accomplished quite a bit. You know, as a team, we accomplished a lot. And I led that team. But I always, you know, I'm the type of person that I lead from the front. I let people see what I'm doing, and I want their input, because if you don't have your team's input into the things that you do, guess what? You don't have a team anymore. You're just a boss with a bunch of subordinates, and nobody wants to work for you. Nobody will want to stay. So what I'm saying is, with trucking, I am the boss. I am the leader. I am the team. And it sounds self-centered, but at the end of the day, I look back and I'm like, man, you know what? I did a lot today. I ran these miles. I got my load there. I got it all delivered in one piece. Everything came off like it's supposed to at the right temperature. The customers were happy. There's a lot of satisfaction in this job. There is a lot of satisfaction in driving a truck, I think. And, you know, now, again, like I said, there are people out here who just despise this as a career. And I say to you, go find something else to do. Go do something that makes you happy. Not because I don't want you in the business, but because if you don't like it, don't do it. So, at Paul Scott 6998, if I'm getting your name right, I'm in the trucking business because I love it. I'm passionate about it. I care about it. I care about the industry. I care about safety. I care about getting from point A to B in one piece, with my truck in one piece, and running well and keeping the maintenance up. I believe in all that. I believe in doing the right thing, trying to run by the law, you know, to do things legally. It's a far cry from what I used to be, but it wasn't that I was trying to be an outlaw. I just wanted to do the job, and I didn't really put a lot of thought into the rules and regulations. I just went and did it. And, you know, that's for another video, but I think that we have options outside of the e-logs and the logbooks for companies for drivers especially, to be able to do their job and do it to their maximum potential. But anyway, that was just kind of me rambling on, trying to explain how I got into the trucking business, why I got into the trucking business, and why I'm in it now. And the reason I'm making these videos, really, I had a friend of mine that came to me back right after I started driving. I'd posted a video on Facebook, actually, for some friends of mine. I was doing some little short reels. And a good friend of mine that I've known my entire life really came back and said, hey, why don't you do some YouTube videos? people like listening to you talk, and apparently some people do. I don't know if it's not for everybody. I know, and I get off on these weird little rabbit trails, and I apologize. I'm a truck driver. It's what we do. But I didn't start this to try to be famous, to get out there in front of everybody and go, look at me. I did these videos, and I'll give you the short, the Reader's Digest version right now. My dad, when he died in 2011, man, the stories that he could tell from all the years he drove, and I didn't get any of that recorded. Not a single word of it. And I kick myself every day for not having. I owned a video camera, a few different ones. And I, never took the time to just sit down and record his stories. Now all those stories are only a memory of mine. And when I'm gone, those stories will be gone. My son's too young to remember any of them. I don't know what my daughters remember. My wife can remember some. But I'm doing this to put out there some different things, and to share my life and my story, and to kind of give you guys an inside look at me and what I do on a daily basis. There's going to be more videos that'll come that'll show me driving around and things. But I find it difficult to do with my phone, and I don't like any of the mounts that they have for them. I need, I'm going to spend some money on a couple GoPros and try to do this right. But the whole reason behind these videos is just really to share and express my opinions and my experiences, and so that way other people can see this industry from someone else's point of view rather than their own, and realize that I think really in all reality most all of us share a lot of those same ideas and ideals. So anyway, I am done here. This is 22 minutes of just me jaw jacking and not really getting to any real point. But I appreciate you guys, man. Really, I do. And thank you, for making this little humble beginning YouTube channel, blow up to where it is. I'm not any huge number of subscribers. I think I'm like a little over 1,700 now. But like I've said before, that's 1,700 and some more than I expected. I didn't expect any. I really didn't. Maybe one or two people that I know to log in and watch. So anyway, guys, thank you. Appreciate you. Be safe out there, please. Like and subscribe if you like what you see. Hit that notification bell to keep notified. And definitely comment. Leave your comments. I read them all. And thank God most of you have been very, very polite and not been rude and disgusting and fighting with each other in the comments. I appreciate that. That shows a level of professionalism that really makes me proud. And I've had a couple trolls. Well, the trolls get deleted. They just, I delete and block them. We don't have time for that. We just don't. So anyway, guys, again, be safe. Keep shiny side up, greasy side down, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Take care, man. See ya.